See how that hold level is holding? But now we face the unsettling truth that we need to break right here. We need to break this valley that's protecting the larger fractal part of the move. Inverse level, right? On the other side. Let's change this one. Let's make this like an uptrend color, or just like a different color, right? The one we have to break versus the one we have to hold. Actually, technically, this is the one that's going to hold us down. So technically this, but I just want to mark it differently so it's not like people don't think it's from the past, right? Against the leg of the move, which is up here. So you guys can tell there's a lot more going on than what people think here. Oh, look, the hold that created the uptrend, it was held. Oh my God, like magic. It's like magic. I swear to God, it's like magic. But again, hold level gets hit, we're probably distributing. No, but we end up holding something even higher, which is good. We end up holding this right here. But that's what it becomes. It becomes as long as you're holding hold levels, right? Look, hold level is here. Coin moves up. So we create something here. So we hold trend, right? So fine, we hold the trend. We go up to attack this level. This is telling us we're distributing. So next we need to back attack this leg, which is saying, okay, the leg is actually protected by trend. We are probably going to test trend and fail down unless we can now hold this. If we can hold this, then we can create a new trend, right? We can create this kind of new pseudo trend wherever it happens, wherever the swing back to that hold happens. Right there, bang, we create a new trend. Oh, come on. We create this new trend, right? Notice how it's following and breaks it down again. Fine, array the trend out. But it did actually try to use this local trend to support this move, right? But the bigger piece being that this hold level is being held, right? We did hit this, but this hold level is being held. So whatever trend was created on this top side from this, right? Whatever trend was created from this attempt, just like the same, we drew the same thing on both sides. We were drawing the same thing on both sides, right? Whatever trend is created there, you can see the compression it's getting into in this decision moment. And it really, in the end, it holds our hold level, right? And this is why we need to hold that hold level, because it holds the hold level and it creates this, no, we don't want that. It creates this trend. Oh, yeah, trading view, right? We hold this hold level and it creates this hold here, which at first was this trend here, and it tried to use that in this area here to push up, fine, it fails down. It doesn't, it creates a new trend here. But the bigger piece of this picture is it's holding this hold level, right? So if it's holding that hold level and creating trends, is it not just going to eventually break this trend that was created and move up, right? Against the leg of the move. Now this is telling us we're moving up. Like this. Now let's go back and let's go back to actually the beginner videos about exhaustion. You guys see where exhaustion comes from now and why it's so important? Now you have exhaustion. So just gonna leave that one word with you, exhaustion. And and further and further and further and so on and so on. And you mark these hold levels anywhere on a chart and you'll see them being held. Like, look, hold level here. Come on. Hold level, which is also this one right here. This is the really greedy hold level, right? Remember we talked about the leg of the move. This is a testament to greed because this will happen. Hold levels are fractal and they do attack lower time frame holds, but the most important thing is that it held, because when it doesn't hold, we know we're back attacking the leg, which is going to break the move. So you do have the attempt to hold this, but look at the size of this candle as well. So if you have this kind of leg of distribution for whatever reason that this event failed, right? For whatever reason that this event fails down on you, for whatever else is happening on this chart, because there are other things I'm not going to discuss right now that I can see on this chart that are happening. For whatever reason that's not going, you are going to target the next hold level, because it actually technically would have been this, right? Well, technically it would have been this, but this is also the same level. So I don't care what you use technically. So fine, a moment of greed happens where people can long the best level possible. It's still the hold level because it's going to move up. People aren't longing 38.71, because if you're longing 38.71, you might as well just go buy the rope right now, throw your account in there. There's no point, because when you back attack the leg, the move is ending because you're breaking the fractal trends. So fine, that holds. Good. We're good. That's nice. So that's fine. That's good. This one right here, you see, holds a level, moves up. Holds a level, moves up until it just holds so high that it's gone. Holds a level, moves up, and then you break some larger thing that's happening, which in this case was a big trend back from April. And you see how the hold levels are reacting against the 4 hours. So this was a moment in time where a decision was to be made. Okay, guys, let's get rid of all this other junk. Let's just look at the events in current question. Okay, guys, we have to make a decision. Everybody's in Bitcoin at this moment. We have been laddering up over hold levels over how long? We are not back attacking legs to break. We tried. We sure as hell tried to break this move. Capital reinjection comes back in on the hold level. This is like the golden signal. This is like the wave the red flag. We've lost this battle, like Battle of Gettysburg, and I don't know what happened there, but I just know it's a battle that happened. I don't know. Sure, whatever. Whatever. The battle happens, and a hold level is being hit to this impeding moment in time where it's just like sure as hell put up a last good fight, and sure as hell did break one big leg here. Broke this pretty, first hold level is right here, right? This is the first hold level in this move to attempt to attack the larger valley. So you hold this, you can attack trend. You lost that fight. You attack this trend here. You broke that hold level there. You lost that fight. You have this one here, and there comes or I guess this actually happened before. This one tried to hold, but okay, stepped a little too far. The biggest part in the move happens, right? Where you do attack trend and you come down and the hold level is held. And in that moment, it's just like, we're probably seeing huge move up in Bitcoin. Like we're probably seeing a massive move up, and this trend is just icing on the cake. All you had to do is see the hold levels laddering, but you see this fractally, and then you break this down to the daily, and you look at this thing. Where the hell are we? And this hold level is hit, and we how many days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's held, and we float through up top, and it's just like, well, it's because of hold levels, because the move never broke down. We kept trend long term. Let's just go quickly here. You look at these ladders. Where do you want to rebuy? Well, you rebuy on the hold level. Can't make this up. Can't make it up on Bitcoin. I can tell you that for sure. Can't just have these events happen like this. Like this is where a reinjection. Like, goddamn, go contract trade and long every single, spend enough time in charts and long contract every significant hold level. You'll be a millionaire. Jesus, on leverage contracts. Like, it's like you can't make it up. Like it's just the way the markets work, because it's not so much that. And I explained this to the workshop one final call. We got really in depth. So one day you guys will have a really nice treat rewatching that. But I'll do a quick little, just a quick version of that, very like a 1-minute version of what was an hour and a half conversation there. There's a conceptual thing that's happening here. Do not mark these levels and say, okay, this is a hold level, therefore I must enter every hold level. Giving yourself a static rule like that will extremely limit your growth. Rather, understand the conceptual layer. The conceptual layer is understanding that this is what it looks like in a static sense. A predefined action that you say, okay, I'm gonna, this is gonna break, and then it's gonna go down here, and we're gonna have this, and then we're gonna have this hold level here. But before that, that's gonna protect this one here. So I am going to put entry here and sell right here. And this is a plan, which is good to have, but like, killing it too much like this will debilitate your ability to learn. Rather, understand the conceptual nature of these things, because going forward, I promise you the conceptual will take you further. Understand the conceptual relevance of what this means on the chart. If this is holding, we are therefore technically still laddering, which means in a larger scale of the sense, we are holding an uptrend, because the moment this hits here, we have now disallowed this trend to break, which means in this moment here, we're actually going to break this move down, and whatever fractal downtrend is created here off this larger downtrend, this fractal downtrend now is going to force us into a point of rejection, which is going to back attack this leg on the 4-hourly, which means we have to hold this level here. So now we should attack this level because this leg is going to break, but then we are actually doing something on the larger time frame even yet. So technically we're supposed to be back attacking this level here, which may happen. Right? This is the conceptual layer to understand. Don't understand the static layer where you draw levels and just have this chart. A chart is like, a plan is good. Have a plan. Don't not have a plan. I'm not saying that. I'm saying understand the conceptual nature, that you don't need to draw this line here to understand what it means. Conceptually, you need to hold this level, because you can see more that's going on in the chart. You can become Neo in the Matrix, and you can see all the angles if you understand the conceptual relevance of this level here, and not, you don't need to draw this leg to say, we hit this leg, we're breaking, because then you'll exit on the break because you know it's moving down further. You won't have exited where you should have, because in a conceptual manner, you would have entered here and exited here, right? You already would have taken exit on the fractal hold level here, and you would be in a spot where you can now free roll a re-entry based on to see if the leg can get moved, and you would have taken a perfect trade, right? That's the conceptual level. Now I can understand how basic levels in the video was taught are actually quite advanced. Yeah, so this is, I'm glad to put that to rest, because so many people are like, well, you have to, and I kind of have to tell people without telling them, like, okay, I can't get into a 5-hour lesson on, what hold and break levels are, rather than, when we first start the, people don't realize how long it actually took to conceptualize the idea of this. We first start with the swing high and lows on every month, and then we adapt them to zones where you have two things in there, and then inside of that we are now using a selective nature inside of zones to see the real thing that's happening, because people don't realize how hard it was to conceptualize all this and how long it actually took. But now seeing why I teach it the way I do with level adaptation, a very specific breadcrumb trail to show you, like, okay, this will allow you to see the science. Like, I had to figure out a system where I could reverse engineer what I figured out, right? So it's not an easy concept to grasp in moments. Even the so something I like to tell people is, conceptually, I can give you guys the science. I can give people the reasons as to why this stuff happens. Execution is the hard part. Conceptually, it's tough, because you learn these rules, and it's almost like, remember the first day of the workshop on workshop 1, where it's talking about distribution layers, and everybody's kind of like, okay, kind of makes sense. And then even here, let's even go like a little wonkier here, and we have this trend line break to end distribution to back attack this valley here, right? So you do something like this, where you have the valley right there to back attack that valley. And when this breaks, because this is a break level technically, right? When this breaks, you can see that this, let's dive in deeper now. Let's leave our original level here. This was the one that we marked, and we're going to color this like a nice white. So this is the hold level in question, right? So this is, I think, boy, I've even gotten too far here. What do we, no, this is the hold level in question. Let's mark this as white. I kind of thought that looked a little funny, right? That's the level there. And then this is the current hold level. So let's just mark this back as our normal. Sure, let's use like a orange color here. So this is the hold level here. So you can see the hold level is telling this even fractal micro time frame. What are we on, the 5-minute chart? It's even telling it here, okay, we're still moving down, right? Until this here breaks, right? Which is also the back attack of this right here, which can start this move up, right? So like, we're getting pretty far down the rabbit hole here, but this is how it's done, which also this will become the hold level in the future. Once we've broken this valley, it will now become the hold level in the future to protect this leg right here, right? So walking through this move, like, there's other stuff that's happening here. Like, so this distribution and accumulation cycle, you have broken this right here to come back and swing against the valley that brought you there, which is right here, which creates a trend line right here, which is the same trend as this larger trend. So this larger trend breaking here. So we've created this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, 1, 2, 3, we're already at a point of 4 here, break above 4 to try to attack this based on the break of this, right? So now you're creating the scenario where now you have this right here, right? And it's kind of trying to break right there, which is still failing to move, which is breaking here, which now you're breaking the larger piece of this right here, which actually, so we get we actually are going to just move this slightly over a bit and make this one really thick too, so we can see both of them once we flip our chart back over, which is now breaking this move here, ending the cycle of this here to try to come up and attack whatever valley it's attacking here, which is going to be a larger time frame valley. So now I'd go to the hourly, and I would look at where the hourly valley is, and I would say, okay, hourly valley is here. And then I would flip this over, move back to the 5-minute time chart, and you have a better explanation which hold level do we attack? Well, we are the whole point of this is to know that there was a larger onset of events that happened here. So the larger onset of events is this. So this is equal to the larger onset of events, which means on a 5-minute chart, we can't sit here and say this hold level, this hold level, this hold level, this hold level. There's a lot of hold levels in this 5-minute chart that were already tested one time, 2 times, 3 times. A lot of fractal, like you can see the fissuring that's happening here. There's 5-minute trends being broken over and over and over in here, leading up to this larger event. So then you start to step through the time frame and you find the hourly hold level, and this is why you're attacking this hourly hold level, because you are attacking the larger event that's happening. And upon this whole cycle that I just drew out, right? Yikes! Delete that. Feels a little painful. Upon that, you are creating the same cycle right here, right? Just on a larger time frame scale, which will eventually then, this has already been a level that we like. This is obvious. Like this is the next one to attack, right? But this is going to happen based on the hourly breakdown. So this is like the like to okay. Let's back it up here and get our chart back. Our rat's nest back here. So you can see why the hourly was attacked, because all of these 5-minute events are leading up to it, which in one sense of a way is most likely breaking some trend that was created, or at least testing at a minimum requirement. I would expect the minimum bias of this to be at least at a minimum of testing a long-term uptrend. So how did we test the long-term uptrend? Because this long-term uptrend was already defined from, sure, this point to, you could even just use this swing right here, this one. That doesn't matter. The point being is that you use a base of the move to whatever the current is, and you have a trend test, which is also the leg. So this is going to be a point where this is going to hold on 100%. But it's all these 5-minute events that are happening now upon not being able to gain this trend here by back attacking this valley over this time and space that happens in here. Whatever happens here, the same move we looked at Bitcoin almost. Earlier on where we broke the bigger black line, pretend this is that bigger black line from April to current, is going to eventually either break down or have succession to now go after this right here. So, and then that 4 hour will have its own onset, which will then come back and attack this right here, which when you look at it is the same thing that happened to Bitcoin, like all the way down through here, where you have like, you've basically just repeated this cycle here where you've come straight up and you've kind of had this meandering attack and then a fall down to some larger event. You're basically creating that same event right now against this right here, right? Against this larger event, which is going to be this hold here at 53. So, are we going to fall down to 53? Yeah, it's very likely, but we have to see what hold levels and what break levels are being attacked and hit, and what, we still do have the larger valley here, which is basically what we're attacking right now. In the 5-minute is this larger valley back here. So you could actually pull this back to here, go to the current, see that you're now holding a much more significant level, because it's the same level, right? But you're just holding it on the smaller time frame. But this is also a larger time frame hold against the local trend, right? Like there's more here going on than just hold and break levels. Like that's why I say conceptuals are easy. The rules are very simple. Actually, it's the execution, because the execution is being able to meander through these different timeframes and being able to see the relevant and acute information, right? Like I make it look simple because I've been doing this for a long time, but there's the same feeling you guys have now is probably the same one on workshop day one, where it's like, okay, these accumulation and distribution cycles, this kind of feels weird, but okay, I guess it kind of makes sense. And then you start to see it all the time and you're like, well, wait a second, this is insanely accurate, right? Because there is a science that happens. It's just executing that science is a different task than understanding it, because I can show you what a break level looks like, and that's very simple. Right? That's not the challenge here. The break level is simple. It's everything else that's happening, right?
Hey everyone, how's it going? As you know, I'm now giving out some of this content for free that I was otherwise charging for the past little while. Drop a donation, subscribe to the channel, join Patreon. You'll get access to Discord. Great way. Lots of top level traders in there, people who are doing this for a career every single day. So go to Patreon, join a tier, get access to Discord. Go on Reddit, talk about future of trading, talk about the science of trading, talk about cotton candy, socials, everything you can. Let's help this thing grow. It's the way you guys can thank me for giving out this content for free that I was otherwise charging money for. So I'll leave a Bitcoin address on the screen. I'll leave the Patreon address on the screen. just do something to help out. Okay. Thanks, guys. Take care.